Gauteng Premiere David Makhura says that education at early childhood development and primary school phases will now be placed as a top priority. This all in a bid to trace and track the progress of learners in the public school system to identify any shortcomings. Makhura was speaking at the provincial Matric Results ceremony in Randburg in Johannesburg earlier today. The top performing schools and learners of 2019 were awarded for their achievements, and our reporter Nosipho Mncube was there.
We're in Randburg, Johannesburg, where the Matric Result ceremony has just taken place, awarding some of Gauteng's best achievers and top achievers for their results in the final examinations of 2019. As you may know, that Gauteng did come out second place in the 2019 final results. But to speak to me more about that, as well as get a reaction, I have with me MEC Panyaza Lesufi. Thank you so much for speaking to us, MEC. Firstly, just a reaction from you coming out second place.
No, we're quite excited. I think anything that relates to quality pass and assessment in education points to Gauteng. I mean, we're the best districts. Our township schools have done well. We've got the highest number of bachelors. We've got the highest number of distinctions. So we're indeed thrilled. It was going to be a cherry on top if we got position one, and therefore we must congratulate Free State for being number one. We must not be bitter. We must accept that the competition is a good competition. So we'll go back to the drawing board and work very hard. But I want to thank the district officials, the educators, and the learners that have done well. I mean, you see the caliber of girl children that have done well in this examination is encouraging. It means the future is bright, and we are quite excited as a province.
Inside, you could not stop singing high praises about the progress made by township schools, the achievements that they've made. Please talk to us more about that. They've
made us proud. I mean, take a school in Diepsloot, in the middle of an informal settlement. They are not only giving us 100%, they're even also giving us 80% bachelor passes. And you compare that to Sabab School next door in around 4 ways, you'll see that they've done well. You go to Tshwane, there is a school called Bukhoni, technical school, 100% in the middle of a township in Atteridgeville. And then you go to Soweto, there's a school called Prudence. They've given us 100% and 65%. You go to the Val, there is a school that has given us. So the 100% performance of township schools is encouraging. But the good thing is that it's not 100%, it's the quality of the bachelor passes that have. I mean, as a Gauteng alone, we've got 44,000 bachelor passes. You can combine all these universities in South Africa. They can't even accommodate all my children. That's how well we've performed as a province.
Last year, we remember covering as well some of the intervention programs that you did, one of them being the Matric boot camp, for example. Yes. Inside as well, you spoke about other interventions, having to speak to some of the principals as well as the educators. Please speak to us more about that and how it's benefited them in the long run.
It's in the name of accountability. If there is no performance, you must account. And if you can't account, let's part ways. Let's get people that will account, let's get people that will perform. Even some of the districts that have not done well, unfortunately, we have to part ways. Some of the schools that have not done well, we have to part ways with their school governing body and their leadership, because if there is no accountability, there will be no performance. But it's very, very important as well that township education must produce good results, because that's where the poor are. So if a school in the township is not doing well, we must come in and intervene. But I'm happy now, 6% improvement by township schools in Gauteng is not a child's play.
Which are some of the problematic schools you've identified, and what are some of the challenges that they're facing?
Now, we've got schools in the Val, the other one that have dragged our results down, and we've got some schools in part of the Gauteng West. They've also dragged our results down. So we are going there. We are convening all the principals that have performed below 80%. In Gauteng, we can't perform below 80 and say I've done well. No. All the schools that have not done well, all the principals have been summoned to meet with us next week. And they must account. And it's the basis of accountability that will know whether we can improve or not.
Next week, we hear that Premier David Makhura tells us that there'll be a comprehensive report detailing some of the progress made by the primary schools, which we really haven't looked at much. Please speak to us more about that, and as well as the plans for the future, just to wrap up.
We are excited with that as well. We've analyzed the results of grade 1, grade 3, grade 6. We are officially releasing them, because we really believe that we must not focus on high school as well, we must focus at the primary school. So the Premier gave us that task, we finalized that task, the report is ready, we are officially releasing it next week with the Premier. It's exciting. I've seen the glimpse of that particular report. South Africans will be proud that even our primary schools are doing very well.
Thank you very much, MEC. That's Gauteng Education MEC Panyaza Lesofo just speaking to us about the plans for the future, particularly for the primary schools, where we have seen not many reports written about them, as well as the progress that they have made. They are going to be, shining a spotlight on them just to try and determine what are some of the issues that are facing that eventually cause a ripple effect and affect the progress or the performance in the high school level as well. But that's it from here. Back to you in studio.